about doing it. The marketing must be located on the portals only. You will not be able to use social media, Facebook, Twitter, or other social media to do a broad-scoped actual sale. You might be able to collect your crowd on those portals, or on those media sites, but you will not be able to solicit through those sites. The solicitation will be exclusively through the funding portal. The ongoing requirements are they're going to be restricted securities. The resales will be only to the company or to present investors or a family member upon divorce or death. So there are going to be some restrictions on the security side, so people will be in it probably for a longer period of time. So let's talk about the equity-based investor on the investor side. Who can invest? Because this is going to be important for companies to know about who their market's going to be about. Anyone who can pass the test on the investment portal. This is going to be regulated by FINRA or some other agency. It typically will be some sort of pre-qualification, 5, 10, 15 questions about the level of sophistication, and the amount will be dependent upon that person's income and a net worth test. The statute says that the investor's net worth that's under $100,000, they will not be able to invest a greater of $2,000 or 5% of their net worth. If their net worth is over $100,000, they can invest a greater of 10% of their income or a net worth up to $100,000. Now, there are some exclusions with that. There was much argument over the whether or not to include the principal residence and things like that. In that calculation, it looks like at this point the residence is going to be excluded from the net worth requirements, so it's going to be a more stringent requirement. Obviously, there will be some exclusions for institutional types of investors who are also going to be participating in this, and there will be some limits based on all crowdfunding investments. In other words, if you're an investor out there and you meet the maximum requirement, there will probably be a global cap on the amount of money that you're able to invest in crowdfunding. So what does this do for the investor and for the company? The advantages are that it provides seed capital for you to go to the next level as a company, which is essentially not existent right now. I mean, I've had 5 or 10 people in the last 2 or 3 months contact me and say, how do I go about raising money from my friends and family? They're reluctant. I can't seem to get the interest that I need. I can't qualify for an SBA loan or conventional loan. I don't qualify. I don't need to raise as much as a venture capital or angel group wants. I don't have the buzz that they're looking for. So I'm kind of caught in this no person's land trying to get seed capital or capital to get to the next level. So this is a great advantage for crowdfunding. I think it's going to fill this gap because you're going to have a lot more people being willing to invest a smaller dollar amount to take a runner on an idea. It also is populated by the patient investor. I've talked about that 2 or 3 times. Typically, the investment groups want to have an exit strategy that's right around 36 months. These investors are probably going to be a lot more patient, and they're going to have to be because of the restrictions. So a company is going to have an opportunity to prove itself and go out for the next round of financing in that next 12-month cycle. So I think it's going to be a combination of debt, equity, or preferred, and those strategic decisions are going to be important to make so that you might be able to reduce the amount of dilution in the company by categorizing more of the investment on the debt side, or a conversion or a convertible debenture, which is basically converting in from an equity or from a loan to equity or equity to loan. So those are going to be strategic decisions depending upon what the company's business plan are. So the great thing about this is, too, that, I mean, it's, I kind of combined the last 2 concepts. It's a really, when I say a democratic approach, you know, we don't need to be in Silicon Valley in order to attract attention now. I mean, what this has done is it's incredibly expanded opportunities for company to reach out into the digital world and attract people who are not local, who are not part of their tech hub, who are maybe based in Omaha, but have a great idea to reach out to their developing crowd to try to raise money for their company. So it creates a great opportunity for people who are not in a particularly great tech area or a medical area, or in Cleveland for medical kinds of devices and opportunities to reach out and get funding. So I think it's a fantastic idea in that base. So look, where we stand now. The current Congress passed the law and Obama signed it in April of this year. The Securities and Exchange Commission is working on rules and processes and portals. The portals will register with the Securities and Exchange Commission as a portal. Don't be confused. The law has passed. The Securities and Exchange Commission has, I believe, 270 days to actually pass the rules, so there's a clock ticking, and that time period runs out in the first quarter of 2013. So if you are interested in the crowdfunding as a company or interested in participating in one of the ancillary aspects of it, the time is now to get started on it because it's really going to be taking off the first quarter of next year. The other parties that are going to be involved are FINRA. I can tell you that from all of the buzz in the legal world, the FINRA, which already regulates broker-dealers, is absolutely appalled at having to regulate this new, what they call the Wild West of raising money. They don't know exactly how they're going to do it, whether they're going to have the resources to do it. So it's going to be an interesting situation to see who exactly is going to be regulating the companies and qualifying the investors. But the Securities and Exchange Commission has pushed it in that direction, and we'll see what happens in that way. So what can you do now? You can't do securities-based crowdfunding, but if you need to start thinking about raising money, you have a good idea. There are companies out there that will help you begin the education and the preparation for the business process. The reason I particularly like the crowdfunding planning people is because they have a host of ideas, from the person that wants to walk through the process by themselves that doesn't have a great deal of money, but they also have opportunities for people that do have some initial seed capital to act as consultants to help them do a faster approach, or for somebody that doesn't have the time but has resources to get them up to speed faster. So there's certainly different levels, and their whole concept is to educate and prepare that person for the process of putting their business on the portal. You definitely want to move into the preliminary issues of formation. The LLC will not likely be the best formation for this entity. It will likely have to be a corporation for two reasons. Number one, it's going to be much easier to issue stock than it is a membership. And because if you are also going to get institutional participation either on this round or in the future, institutions detest LLCs. They're much more comfortable with the corporate share option and will require a company to even convert to that before they even look at them. Then you need to start talking about the business plan and the related planning issues. Again, I want to absolutely emphasize, it's not going to be any easier to begin the process of preparation or having a good idea. It doesn't make a bad idea good, but what it does do is it offers an opportunity for people that don't have access or don't have the idea that's so attractive to the angel or tech groups to take their idea to the next level. So a good idea can become a great idea, but it's going to be absolutely essential to assemble the consultants and professionals, and that's why consulting and being a part of, if you're a professional out there, of the mentors group, which is a volunteer group, but then you connect with the particular business owners and you structure your own time and deal with them with regard to your fees so that there's nobody that's involved in that except for you. But it's important for there to be consultants, and if you're in the consulting business and you want to help these companies get to the next level and you have a niche in that area, it's absolutely an opportune time to be getting your name out there. Just in passing, on my LinkedIn page, I have a new group called Crowdfunding Planning Consultants and Mentors, and if you're interested in joining that group, it's going to be hopefully growing. We're just starting it out. Just started out about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but that's growing slowly too. Because once we get a group of people together that are doing this process and we have some proven strategies, I think that it's going to be an opportunity for, certainly in the Orange County, Los Angeles area, for a group of very collaborative people to get immediately involved on the cutting edge of the crowdfunding concept with potential businesses. The other idea is what we want to do is, I mean, we need to also not forget the crowd concept with regard to if you're a consultant or professional. It's going to be essential to create collaboration among the people who are incubating companies, the SBA, who we've discussed this matter with and who are interested, other government agencies, trade associations, obviously the Irvine Chamber of Commerce thinks it's important, which is why I'm here today, and other groups to begin educating people about the opportunities out there. So the most important issue of all is you have to start now, because it is